I put it all in the
Did
kitchen.
you already take it out?
I did.
Oh, good. I just took it out of everywhere I could find. And
Correct. You good.
are we live? We are live. Thank you, Josh. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Taylor's here with us. Has this not been a
There's Cheryl.
wild, crazy, wonderful weekend? I'm sad for it to come to an end. I really am. Cheryl's there. Good morning, Cheryl. I've just been sitting here. I'm tired, but happy. I even got here early and I didn't have to. I need to get some things all straightened up and cleaned up, so when we come in Monday, it's not going to be just total wreck, just going to be a partial wreck. And I'm going to be gone next week, and part of the, let's see, I think Bucky said Tuesday till Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
So I don't know what. He said it was a surprise. Hope I like it. I hope I like it. Christine, good morning. Let me know if any of you are together. Cheryl, my room is wrecked. Yes, I have to clean this up every time right after one. Yes, it is. It is. It's funny how everything gets to be a wreck. I was expecting the house to be a wreck because Bucky's there all weekend by himself, but it wasn't. He did good. He's such a good guy. I don't deserve him. Let's see what else we have here. What has been your favorite thing about this week? There's so many. There is so many. Cheryl and Christine, everybody else is having a hard time getting going this morning. It's awfully quiet. We had a great time last night too, playing all those games, doing all that wild and crazy things. That was fun. It was just fun. So excellent. Maymay has done a great job of making a great weekend out of a terrible situation. It's just been so sad. And oh, you did like the calico cards. I've been thinking about next time doing the same thing and maybe just doing with your scrap Christmas cards. I was thinking last night that would be a great, and I've already got a little idea kicking in my head for something a little different for us to do. I'm going to get with Maymay and see if she can find what I need. So it's something a little different than what I normally do. So it'll be fun. Taylor, did y'all have a good night last night?
We did. We went and picked up our TV.
Oh, that's right. They got a new TV.
And then we picked up some Japanese food.
Ooh,
Dinner.
yes.
And ate at the house. It wasn't as good.
No, it's not as good when you bring it home,
Right.
but it's still good.
Was different than just cooking every night.
Right.
Cooking.
Taking a break from all the COVID news and right news. Yes, I have not looked at it at all this weekend. You know, about 2 weeks ago, I just got beside myself. I was so worried and mad, and it just, every time I would open it, I'm going, you know, that can't be true. This can be true. The most scary thing about this whole situation for me has been not knowing who to believe. So that's where, and I finally, Bucky said, calm down. It's okay. I worry about the grandbabies. The grandbabies will be just fine. So I just decided, I said, Lord, just devil, get behind me. And so this has been really been a good experience for me to step back and understand that if I don't know what's going on, I'm not quite as nervous. So I still feel like this is the mugshot.
Your last mugshot.
My last mugshot for the day. Christine's here. Yes. Christine, what was your favorite? I was thinking last night about what was my favorite. My voice is a little rough this morning. I apologize. What I think has been the most, I guess, eye-opening is that, hey, Terrence. Oh, it's John. Hey, John. Has been that the technology end of it, how we could make all of this work. And Maymay and I have had a great time just enjoying what Josh and Maymay put all together. Let's see, the transition from live to virtual was no small task. You're right. Oh, whew. But Maymay, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. John, what's been your favorite thing about the weekend? Christine, you must be a IT person to understand that. See, I don't even understand. I just do what I'm told. I just do it the way they tell me to do it. It's not that I understand what I'm doing. We got home last night. It was 10-ish when we got home last night. Oh, and we just snapped the prizes. We just snap. Yeah. There's a whole table full over there of different door prizes that we gave. It was fun. Granny came. Yes. Granny was good.
I heard Granny was coming.
Yeah, and we gave them the Southern, what's it like to be Southern, all the questions. So that was really good. We didn't even get to Plunko.
You didn't?
No. So, but we've got that in our pocket for next time. I'm thirsty this morning. Yes, I am. Let's see. We've got just a few more minutes before we start. We're going to wait and see if we can get everybody awake and in here and get their setup. That's the hard thing going transit. If you're taking a series of classes, getting your stuff pushed aside and getting the other project on screen. Is it blurry to you?
It is. I just think it's not focused.
Let me see if I can focus it. Let me see.
Then.
I just noticed that. No, that didn't help. Let me give it something to look at other than my hand.
Does that seem to help?
No. But it's not bad. I mean, it's
like
it's just like a little, like you've got water in your eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
This one's clear. The little one's clear.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So we're gonna have to see about. Let me know. Is it a little blurry? Granny, laugh out loud. Yes, she was. Let's see. Granny was a hoot. Cheryl, yes, Cheryl. Granny was a hoot. Oh, great! I'm so glad, John. It's just this one looks clear, but this one looks a little blurry. I don't know if it's just.
As long as this one is clear, this is what the people actually say.
Okay, that's all we care about.
This is just what you see.
Okay, that's okay. Good.
As long as
they're seeing clear.
No,
Yeah.
it's not clear for me.
Let's try covering it and refocus. Sorry, everybody.
I know. Trish, hey. Trish says, hey, everybody.
Hello.
This is a watercolor class. I hope it's a little different. I hope that you all like it. As long as this one's clear, I'm cool. But she said hers was blurry.
It should be clear now. Try.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
All right. It is a little blurry, Cheryl says.
Still a little blurry.
Howdy, Lolly. Texas Aunt Lolly and Michelle are here.
I mean, we can try restarting it, but I don't know.
I
if
don't
that'll-
think. Can you all handle just a little bit of the blurry? If not, we'll have to shut down and restart, and I really don't want to do that because we don't want to lose our stream. And it's okay. Probably this morning we need it to be a little blurry. Ooh, got a little grit in here.
Christine said watercolor is a little blurry, so should be okay.
Yes,
It is okay.
please. This was I've got. I hope you all like this. I enjoyed the challenge very much. So it's Maymay challenged me to do something. So I'm really interested to see if you all like it. It's fine, Christine said. Good, thank you all. Thank you for understanding. We just don't want to take everything down just in case we can't get our stream back. How many do we have here now?
We have 5 of ours in the class.
Okay.
7 are watching.
Okay. But yeah, we need the class. Yes. Oh, you don't drive as far as I am. I drove through Clanton. I know those of you who have came know how small Clanton is. The traffic was horrible. Horrible. All the fast food places, because we can't go in, cars were packed, and we are a drive-through going to the beach and the mountains. If they live down south, they want to go to the mountains. If they live up north, they want to go to the beach. So we're that I-65. So we do have a lot stream. But this morning, even on into town, normally it's just right there on the interstate, and I always wait till I get up into town to get breakfast if I want something, and it was horrendous.
Really?
Yes, I was shocked. But now I don't get out on weekends a whole lot. I mean, so we pretty much stay in our little world. Bucky was going to even mow this morning. He said it's going to be hot today and he needs to mow. He likes to mow when it's in the morning. So let's see. I have done shabby chic, fancy fold, and now watercolor, all out of my That's the best thing to do when, let's see, many long years ago, when folk art, wood painting, reverse glass. I'm trying to think of all the different classes that I would go to Indiana and take. And at that time, 4 of us had a arts and crafts store. This was back when, let's see, 45 years ago, because Briar was about 5 when it all started. But we would all take something out of our comfort zone and then go back and teach the other one. Of course, everything was live. We didn't have any way to record. We didn't even know about recording it. So that was always a challenge for me, because when I first got in there, I go, oh, this is terrible, terrible. And then when I got finished with it and got home, I'm going, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. It looks kind of good. But always stretch yourself, because you're going to find out what you do like to do and what you don't like to do. And I have found, to my surprise, I really like doing the albums and doing them in different ways. I love doing that, and I like doing those calico cards. And I really was going, yeah, Maymay, can I really do that? And when she said, just think about it as an album, I said, I can do that. Is heat embossing out of your wheelhouse? Marcy's here. Hi, Marcy. I keep seeing what time it is. Okay, let's do one more minute. It's time to start. We'll do one more minute. But let's go ahead and take your things out of your package. You should have a wonderful watercolor set. This set you're really gonna like it. It's got a lot of colors you don't normally come on, Brenda. You don't normally have in a watercolor kit. So we're not going to use very many of these colors, but you're going to use this a lot. And the surprise is you got my beach house stamp. We're going to use that in a different way. You're going to be surprised how we're going to do that. And you've got 2 5x7s, 2 or 3 5x7s, but you also have some other scrap paper. So if you want to, and the reason I gave you that is if you want to do yours on the scrap sheet of paper before you do it on the 5x7, if it turns out good, you can always cut it down. If you don't like it, you can do it again. So that was the, oh, and also a Sharpie. You got a Sharpie. And there's a brush inside your kit. I don't know what happened to mine. We can use that brush, or if you have a brush, either way you want to do it. I'm gonna steal this one and use it since you all are using it. Now I always put my other brushes out just in case. I don't know where that brush got off to. Now the brush, mine doesn't, but put your brush in some water and bring it to a tip, because this is not the most wonderful brush in the world. Okay, now surprise, surprise, I'm going to show you, and I rarely ever do this, but I'm going to show you my prototype that I do. I always do 2 or 3 before I present them to you. Now I have things I like about my proto, and I have things I don't like, and I also have things I like about the one that I am considering the finish, and the things I don't like. So ignore my little scratchy notes on the prototype, but I did want to show you both of these because they turned out different. We're gonna make a barn out of our beach house. Can you believe that? This is what Maymay challenged me to do. She said, I was struggling a little bit, and she said, hey, take your beach house and make it something else. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what else am I going to make? A beach house. It's the beach house. And so I just was, of course, got on Pinterest and scroll through. And when I was painting many years ago, I painted a lot of barns. And of course, they were huge. And I've always liked barns. So that's what we're going to paint today. We're going to take some from my prototype, and we're going to take some from my finished product. So let's put and I do want you to put them, you can have pictures if you want, be more than happy to. We'll do them at the end. But I'm going to take this away because I want this to be yours. I don't want it to be exactly like that. So I'm going to do the thing that you all know I love the most, not stamp. All right, now, and the one thing that, my pencil, the one thing that, here it is, I got to reach. The one thing that I always like to do is put my subject off-centered. And it doesn't matter which side you want to do. John, are you left-handed? I can't remember. I think you or Terrence 1 is left-handed, if I remember correctly. But anyway, whichever side feels the most comfortable for you to paint is fine. I'm going to go to this side because that's the side I normally use. So the way I determined where I wanted my barn, because I wanted it off center. Oh, I put it on the wrong way. I put it on the wrong way. See, I don't even know how to do that. Now, for me as a newbie, I love this because I can line it up. All right, I don't want it to be off. I do want it to be in the painting. So I'm going to choose there. And the reason I'm showing you do this before you put any stamping on it is because this was a little challenge I had to work on. Now this is the bottom of this one. We're using these two right now. Okay, these two is what we're going to use to begin with. All right, now the bottom is, I want it up off because I want to have a little pathway coming to it. So I want a little space, but I want enough space that my top of my barn, because we're going to work on the top of your barn. We're going to create this. So we got to have enough room for our peak. So you can come down, and if you want to do it vertical, feel free, doesn't matter. So we're going to come down just a little bit. I think that will do it. So I'm going to do it opposite because I want to put my roof on, because it's the one I want to make sure that I have enough room to make my barn peak. That's going to take it from looking like a beach house to a barn. Now, you're going to probably freak out with all these. Don't worry about that. It really shows up more as a shadow than anything else. So don't worry about it. If you don't like them, you can always mask them out. But I didn't. I wonder how many times and how many things I'm going to have to stamp before I get it right. Okay. I put it on there wrong again. No, I didn't. See, I'm just learning how to do this, y'all. What a challenge. Okay, let's see what happens. Mine's always like a grab bag. I never know. And one way you can avoid it's supposed to be thatch, if you feel uncomfortable with it, is to just press around the edges and kind of ignore pressing those. Okay, because stamping on watercolor paper, it's not going to stamp clear. It's not going to stamp the way you normally have. Okay, good. There we go. That did good. And I'm giving you all a little time. Oh, here it is. Couldn't find my wipes. I just want to clear this off here. Okay, now I'm going to put that one aside, and now I'm going to do the bottom of my barn. And if you all have taken some of my watercolor classes before, you know we can fix all mistakes with a Sharpie. So don't sweat it. Don't stress about it. I don't know which is the best way, to hold it and blot it on it or to put it down and blot it on it. So I just pray I get it on there. Okay, I just needed enough. I needed enough on there. All right, now I want you to take the wider part of it and put it up against your, let's get it in the middle. I put it up again, and if you don't get it in the middle, it's no big deal, because one of these is not in the middle, and we can fix that. So I'm going to get him right about there. The beauty of doing a watercolor with it is you can fix it with a Sharpie. Okay. Ta-da! Now I did leave a little space there. You don't have to, but I did leave a little space. I wish I had left less, but hey, it's okay. All right, now we're going to go on to the door. And the door is this piece. My papa's barn, this is kind of styled after my papa's barn. He had cows, and he had a mule, and he had 2 goats, I think. He didn't like the goats very much, so he didn't have very many goats. But this is where he kept the old mule, and it was just it was almost just like what we're going to paint. I know I got it on there. I'm sorry. It's okay. We'll make that be a bird or something. Okay, and when you stamp the barn, I want the small side up. I want the small piece, the top, to be the top of the door, and just put it right there on the bottom. Just put it on the bottom.
Cheryl asked if we could go a little slower.
Yes, you can, and I'll go over what I did before we go on. I just be sure to leave enough space at the top that we can have this peak. We're gonna put that peak in it, and that's what's gonna make it look like a barn. It's gonna take it from looking like a shack to a barn. And put it off-centered. Then take your bottom with the big side up, the big side at the top, and just put it as close to the middle as you can get. Like I say, it doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. So, while I'm waiting, I'm going to see about doing a second one and see which one I like. Oops, I'm pounding on y'all. Oh, I might end up liking stamping. Just put it there. Now, okay, and then we put the bottom right under it. And I have found out if it's on there a little crooked. One of the ones I did, I got it a little crooked, but I fixed it, so we do have a way out if it gets crooked. Yeah. And then the big door on the stamp, and it's the small side up. Small side up. I did get that on crooked. Whoops. So we are gonna, there we go. Are we about caught up?
Cheryl said thank you.
Okay. If you want me to go slower, Maymay gave me the great trick is put a 1 if you want it slower, and put a 2 if you're caught up. And that way you don't have to type. You can just, press it on there. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is make the hayloft up at the top. This is the hayloft. That's my prototype. That's how I figured out how I was going to do it. And so now the hayloft in a lot of barns was not symmetrical. So if you don't get it just exactly right, don't worry about it. But I chose this window because my papa's hayloft had vents in it. So we're going to make that look like it has vents in it. Okay, the small side down. There is one side is bigger than the other, so it's the small side down. And it doesn't matter if you can't figure out. It's not perfectly square, but it's not enough to matter, and we are going to work on it. So, all right, here we go. Oh, I need to put it on the other one.
A couple are behind.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of do a repeat over here so you can. Yeah, you got to get it off, get it on your stamp. I went ahead and prepped mine because I knew what I was going to do, so I understand. Oops, I want it that way. Okay. right. No hurry, we got plenty of time. I've got plenty of time. I need extra time to get all the stuff off of me. I'm messy. Bryson used to say, I'm messy, Mama. And I'm going, baby, you wouldn't be my child if you wouldn't. This is the bottom. This is the top. This is the door. And this is going to be the top vent window. Let's see. Okay, watching me stamp. Honey, I don't need to be the example, but I understand. Out of water. Oh, good. Pat likes the barn look. Were you surprised? I was surprised when I did it. It surprised me probably as much as that was a good one. Yes, Christine, I want to do a Christmas village with it too. It's got lots and lots of potential. And we've talked about doing a Christmas village, but we got to looking at this. I said, I think we can use this and make a little village out of it. So I'm challenging myself to do that. So we'll stay tuned. I'll see if I can figure that out. I laughed and told Bucky, I said, I can draw this quicker than I can stamp. He said, come on now. Maymay wants you stamping. But it has, now that I'm doing it, I actually really like it. Okay, we still have some ones and we have some twos. Oh, sweet girl. Sweet girl. Wish Taylor could go home with me, but Josh would have a fit. He would be coming to get her. We still have a few that are behind. Yes, they are, Cheryl. They're great. Okay. We're going to move on to your choice if you want to use, I use the sea oats as some grass. So your choice if you want to, if you don't want to put it on there now, that's fine. You can put it on now or you can put it on later. Either way. So I think what I'm actually going to do is put one on now and then one I'm going to put the one that I have close to the barn because that's the close-up part. Okay. And then if you want to put more than one, here's what I'm going to do. Put one there. Don't want the wind blowing too hard, so I'm going to kind of straighten him up and put one there. I just dropped him down just a little bit lower. And then on the other side, I'm going to put one. Now, I straighten them up just a little bit from their leaning to the right, but I kind of straightened them up a little bit. I didn't want it to appear that the wind was blowing really hard through there. Okay, we're through with the stamping. Okay, I do want to know if you're through with the stamping. Stamp, but I cannot draw. You can draw better than you think you can. If you'll look at it as shapes instead of drawing, don't draw the barn, draw the shapes. You got a triangle, you got a rectangle, another rectangle. So it's, if you look at it as shapes, it's easy to draw. Okay, Cheryl's through. Marcy's through. Pat's through. Uh-oh, Tricia's, no, 2 if you're behind. Yeah, Tricia's behind. I do want everybody to be caught up. I hate for you to sit there and not do anything, but I don't want you concentrating on stamping because the watercolor is going to make this just be what it is. In fact, this would be a great little Christmas gift to just frame it as a Christmas gift. Okay. Christine's behind. Cheryl's behind.
No, Cheryl's good.
Is Cheryl good?
Cheryl's good.
Tricia's
good
behind.
now.
Okay.
That's good.
You're getting quicker than I am. Are you getting any 2s?
Just Christine.
Okay.
Right now.
All right, Christine. We're going to give you another minute or 2. So while we're waiting for Christine, open your paints. Open your paints. And take the brush that was in here, or if you want to use another brush, either I have flats and rounds, either one. Now this brush, I will tell you this brush is not the easiest brush to handle. It's a little, I don't know how to put, poofier than I like. But what we are going to do is we're going to put a little bit of water on here's the colors I want you to put a little water on. Yellow and blue, orange, red, greens, both the greens.
She's good now.
Okay, good. The ochre. That's burnt sienna, but this is yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and the black. And this blue here. We're using them all but 2. And if you so choose, you can use the other 2. As you know, in my class, it is okay. All right. Now, first we're going to paint the sky. And if you've taken my class before, we've painted quite a few skies. So we're going to basically do the same thing. The one thing you might think about, if you want it to be a smooth, clear sky, you know, you're not going to have as much open spaces. So make that decision. So I want you to take your turquoise and put it in one of your little bins right here, I guess you'll call it. And then take your blue and put it beside it. Don't put it in it, just put it beside it, because we can make a lot of colors of blue doing this. All right, so here again, I always go left to right so I don't get my hand in the paint. If you're left-handed, you may want to go the other way so your hand won't be in the paint. All right, what I want to do, one thing is, think about where you want your horizontal line. Now, I always have a pencil with me when I watercolor. Pencil marks in watercolor is perfectly fine. Go look at the masters. A lot of them, you see exactly what they drew. I'm going to draw my horizon line. So I just drop down just a little bit from the shape of my barn, the bottom of the barn. I'm struggling with words this morning. So I'll paint it twice so you can keep up. I just took my paint that was in the brush and I kept my dark. So I'm gonna rinse my brush out in my water, and then I'm going to take this part and just let the paper work for me. And I'm going to come back in here in this lighter color of blue and put it through here, and here again, just let the water work for me.
Cheryl said, Brenda, you should teach a sketching class.
It would be sketching. It would not be drawing. I don't draw. I do sketch, but I don't draw. But that's kind of out of our wheelhouse here. So, and I'm being slower than normal, so you all will catch up. Won't be so far behind. Because normally this sky could be put in 2 seconds. And you'll find you like it better when you do that. Okay, now I'm going to put some of the light in there. I've got lots of water in my brush. Lots of water. Lots of water. And very little paint. Very little paint. Because it's going to fade out in the horizon. Okay. I'm gonna, those 2 little spots that I put in there, I'm gonna see if I can make them be less. There we go. All right, so I know you're probably behind. We're gonna go to this one. Now this one will look different. Every time you do one or the other, it will look different. When you go back, oops, went into black that time. Ooh. Wonder if that's on there. This is just going to be a darker color. Ooh, I like that black in there. Made it a whole different blue. We're just going to go into our turquoise here. Because the sky is so many colors of blue. So many. And we're just going across, dropping in color. The sky is so forgiving to paint too, because I mean, get your blue on there and you're just about done. Everybody. And this is a relaxing class. I didn't draw my horizon, so I'm just going to guess. We're not stressing about anything. We're just enjoying the process. Trust the process. Okay. And if you don't leave little splotches of white, that's okay too. Let's see. 1 is caught up and 2 is behind. No, I'm okay. Okay, Christine. Just let us know, because I don't want to go into, and I put my brush down, and the reason I put my brush down is I don't want to go back into mine. If I have my brush, I tend to pick it to death. I'll go back in.
Marcy's good.
Okay.
Cheryl's behind.
It's okay to be behind. We're let's see. We're good on time. We got an hour and a half. And we're not quite halfway through. So I do want you, if you want to do a lot or practice on another sheet if you're finished while you're waiting, that's fine. You know, you could do 3 or 4 barns and you'd have Christmas gifts done. In fact, the 2 albums that I did, one of them is a Christmas gift. I thought about it last night, so I said, oh, that would be the perfect gift. We're getting some 1s. We have 6 in the class.
We got 7.
7. Okay. Right. Not everybody showed up, so that's okay. They'll look at it later, and that's good. Now, also, you can do the beach house using this technique too. I think I taught that. I can't remember. I think I taught that. And it's the same technique, and just choose your colors. Cheryl is behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. John, haven't heard from you. Are you there?
And Lori, I think, was.
You're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have Maymay's product parade where I could type. And I can't now, but that's what's blocking the last one. Yes.
Trish said you did on the cruise.
I thought I had. Thank you.
Okay, so Carol's watching. She's gonna do it later.
Okay. Carol, we're turning the beach house into a barn. So it's been an interesting process.
Terrence is good. Cheryl's good now.
John's on Terrence's.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the ground cover. Now, I did 2 different ground covers. This one is more a spring ground cover. An autumn ground cover. And this one is more spring. Now, I'm going to do the more autumn one because we are going into autumn. And I'll do one of them autumn and one of them spring. Let's do it that way. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with my greens that I did with my blues. I'm going to go in here and make me a puddle of this color. And then I'm going to make me a puddle of this color. All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to do this one, the spring. All right, now, when you look out into a horizon, now, normally when you have a barn, it's a lot of pasture, it's a lot of green, but there's always that edge over there that has that little fence that you can see. So we're going to paint trees in the background, big bushes, big trees. So watch the process first before you start. I'm going to lay down some color. I'm just laying down color. Then I'm going to, and I have not done anything to my brush. And we're just going to bump us up some trees and bushes. Leave you some spaces in there so it'll begin to look like the tree. And some of them are just going to be bushes. They won't look like the tree until later. So don't get, and it's very subtle. I'm just barely touching my paper. Starts like canvas. Shoot, I hadn't done a canvas in years. So just barely that. All right, now, here's where you can work quick. Do your 2 colors and bring you one pretty good dark. Rinse your brush out. Oh, I didn't leave enough water on it. And come back into your water and do your horizontal. Do it horizontal. Now just put the straight light color in it. Don't panic if you get in your barn. I did it again. I didn't leave my water on. This brush doesn't hold a lot of water, and that's why I don't. My other brushes hold lots of water. So my habit is to, and we're just going to kind of feed to nothing. Okay? Now we're going to do the other side, and this is the spring one. This is now why I've got that dark in here. I'm going to touch some just every once in a while on that horizon to kind of separate it. Let's see how it bleeds. That's pretty good. So I'm rinse my brush out. I'm just going to pat a little bit. That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm not going to have a quote path, but what I am going to have is something that appears to be a path. That's this part right here. So I'm just going to bring my green, just right beside the door. And I'm going to touch a little blue in my green. Not much, just a little blue. Just touch the edge of that. And your brush into it. I never use solid colors. And also it would be darker here under the barn and under the grasses. Okay. Now that's all we want. All right. We're going to let that dry. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do the fall. There's still green in our fall. We still have green. It's normally the darker green though, so I'm going to touch a little blue into my green. Rinse my brush and I'm going to get some yellow. Put it in one of its bins. Next I'm going to get some orange. You can go from orange to yellow and it's not evasive to the orange. And I'm going to do the red. I may or may not use all these colors. I just want to have them handy and I don't want them to be real dark. That's the only reason I did that. Now, just let that dry a little bit because we're going to put some other colors in there when it's not quite dry enough. So, and ochre. I'm sorry, ochre. I might use more ochre. Sometimes I change my mind as I go. Probably not a good idea, but I still do it. And I want a little black in that ochre, and it kind of makes it a grungy color. I'm going to come back to my first one, and all I'm going to do is just drop a little bit of color. Just, what is that, 6 or 7 dots? And then I'm going to spread it out. There we go. Now, okay, let's come back in here in our ochre with that little, where is it? Oh, we're good. I lost focus there. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to do the same thing here, except, do you see? I want this in there, but I don't want it to be that. And I'm going to put a little green. There we go. See, when I blend that in there, it gives it other colors. Some ochre. Back to the green. Shannon just ran through. And in this green.
It's so pretty.
It's getting there. I'm putting a little black because I don't want it to be a summer green. I want it to be a darker green. And I'm just going to play in it. Because these bushes are just suggestions. When you look out in the horizon, that's what you see. You don't see individual leaves or trunks. You just see shapes. And that's all we want are shapes. All right, let's pull this down real quick. Just wiggle it out. We're just wiggling it down. We're not sweating it. Then I want to go into my ochre again. And I lied to y'all. I'm not going to use the bright yellow. Sorry. I'm using the ochre. With a touch of the sienna in there. See, I just dropped it into that wet paint. And then I'm going to go back and put some of this a little bit darker. And completely rinse my brush out. Completely. Because all I'm going to do is just muddy the ground up, because it's going to have some green and some, well, for us that would be red clay. It's going to have a little bit of both in there, so we're just going to let the water do the work for us. Try not to go back into the paint more than twice. I try not to, unless it's like a big puddle. Okay, now I want the dark under. Well, I'm going to make some dark fall green. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And I'm going to put it right up under the barn. And on down through here. Okay, now, don't pick them to death. You know, this could look, since this is fall, this could look like the field back there that's, they're getting ready to plant. See, I want to go back in there. So we're going to have our spring and our fall. And there's the same technique. It's the very same technique. Are y'all screaming yet? Has anybody fainted?
Possibly.
My first watercolor class, I felt like fainting. I felt like fainting. All right, if you are caught up, and this, you don't have to do this. I'm going to fan mine just a little bit. I want it to dry quicker than it's drying. It must be a little humid in here, because yesterday it was drying fast. And I'm just going to dry. If you use a hair dryer, do it on as cold as you can get it. Don't do it with hot. Do it with cool. The hot tends to kind of sort of fade the colors. And we want this really dry when we start in with our sketching. When we start sketching. All right. Let me know when you're caught up, because I'm not going to go to the next step until you're caught up. I'm liking that fall one.
I did too.
I kind of wanted it to look like it was sort of a field back there in the back. Oh my goodness. Maymay hooked me up with Cole the Corn Star.
Oh goodness. I haven't watched them yet.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't think with it. He is a young guy and very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. Now, and I'm not even gonna go there yet. One. John, you're caught up. Whoop whoop. Christine.
My house is like an iceberg, so I should be okay with their paper dry.
Oh my God.
What does that mean? I thought she was talking about her barn.
My house, Bucky purposely put 2 units in because we like to sleep in a cold bedroom, but we don't want it cold in our living space. So we opted to do that.
Yeah, that's smart.
And the architect and I were talking about it, and so I can shut off the bedroom and the master bath. I can shut all that off, and keep it as cool as we want it.
Nice.
I fought going to an architect, and I'll give you all this piece of advice you probably don't want or need. I knew what I wanted, and I could draw it out, but what sent me to the architect was I couldn't figure out how to get, I wanted my laundry room. My laundry room is next to my master bath. So why have your laundry room in the kitchen? You know, the only thing you wash from the kitchen is kitchen towels. So that is, we lived in a round house at one time, and that's where the bathroom was. So I knew how convenient it was. It wasn't that I thought it up. So when I go to him, I tell him, I said, okay, here's what I want. And I gave him our list, and I said, and I want my laundry room next to my master bath. You know, all the kids were gone. All right, everybody's about cut. Here we go. All right, we're going to do the roof. Now, I'm not going to give you two options to do. I'm going to only do them one way. But if you have a better way, a different color you want to use, that's fine with me. So we're going into our blue. It's almost like a tin roof. Now, spot that blue. Ooh, it's not dark enough. It needs to be kind of dark. And I want turquoise. We're going to go ahead and put our tin under here because it's going to be rusty tin. Let's just put us in some blue. Oops. We want to put some blue in there. We're going to cover up some of it, but we still want that tin to show through. We don't want brand new tin, but we do want that tin to show through. If you feel like you got too much, I'm going to show you what you can do. Just blot it. I don't really have too much anywhere, but I'm going to blot anyway. Just kind of blot it. Ignore these lines. Ignore them. All right, while that's still wet, I'm going into my burnt sienna, and I'm going to put some yellow ochre, and we're going to mix those in there. We're making rust, and I think I'm going to drop just a touch of black in there. Not much. Black will make it appear flat if you get too much, because we want it to be rusty looking. Okay. All right. Oh, we do have to do this. Hold that thought. This is how we're going to make it a barn. Whoop whoop. This is going to be fun. All right, I want you to take your Sharpie and extend this into a peak. You're just going to sketch a line. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. We're just sketching a triangle. Think triangle. All right. Sketch. We're just sketching a triangle is all we're doing. Ignore the line that's there. Just ignore it. And it's not a really dark line. It's not a really straight line. It's a peak. And I'm not going to make you draw the weather vane. Ha! Okay, now we're going to rusty up it. Rusty up it. I'm forever keeping two brushes going. So I am going to dot me up some blue up there on the top. I know it's got some of the sky in it, but I'm just going to make it a little more dominant. Okay. So we're going to rust the barn up. Y'all, I completely missed that middle. That was crazy. There we go. All right, let's drop us in a little. You might even could follow those little lines if you want to. Now we're dropping it in. We're not painting it, we're just dropping color in. And then we're going to come back and just the edges, we're going to just touch into the edges. Need more paint. Need more rust. My barn's going to be rusty. Leave some of that blue peeking through. Don't cover the blue up completely. And I want a little more blue, so I'm going to go back into my blue and fill in some spaces. My blue got dry. I'm just dropping. I'm not painting, I'm just dropping. There we go. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this one again. I know y'all aren't caught up, so I'm just gonna do the process again so you can see it again. I'm gonna take our blue and drop it all in here. Doing horizontal, not triangle. We're doing it horizontal. Okay, then I'm just going to bleed it out. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. This one dried quickly. Let's let that dry just a minute. Because we're going to put the tin over the blue, but so we don't want it to bleed into the blue and create another color. It kind of creates a muddy color. So that's dry enough. Let's go into our burnt sienna. Can y'all hear me? I get to in my little world and I get low voiced. Sorry. So we're dropping our tin, just dropping it in because we're going to feather it out, remember. Rinse your brush. Ooh. Tap off some of the water and we're going to just come in. I'm trying to make this one a little bit different than the other one so you can see more than one option of how to do it. You can either have it have a lot tin showing or a little tin showing. That looks splotchy on the... Looks like I got two blobs up there, but they're actually not. Okay. Now then. Oh, well, we need to do the hayloft.
Trish said, happy trees, like,
Oh, yes. Happy trees. Happy trees.
What's his name?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. Okay, we're going to do this a little opposite. Get your Sharpie. And this, it needs to be dry because the Sharpie won't show up on wet watercolor. So I'm just going to stay in. And what I'm going to do is I'm sketching some vents. Now, it's an old barn. They're not going to be perfectly straight. They're all not going to be this exact same size. In fact, Papa had a broken one or two in there. After all, it is a whole barn. So just drop you in some vents. Oops, I got carried away there. There we go. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so we're gonna go from our roof. Now we're gonna paint our barn. We're gonna go back into our ochre, and then we're gonna go into red. We're just gonna make this like a this red is lends toward the orange side. It doesn't have any blue in it. That's probably too much information, but why I'm saying that is we're not going to have a really red barn down at the bottom. So let's just come in here, and I'm taking that wide space out. And let's just paint that barn using horizontal strokes. Now we're going to come back to it. It just needs to have just a little wash on it. That's all we want, is a little wash. And see how quickly I'm doing it? You do it that quickly. You're going to find your groove at what pace you go. I am a fast painter. I am. I learned that if I do it, I learned if my first instinct is always the right instinct. Okay. And that one's just a little bit darker up under there. Now while this is damp, I'm going to go into my red right here, and I think I'm going to muddy it up just a little bit. This is an old barn. If it's got a rusty top, it can't be a new painted barn. And from my left side, I'm going to darken it, and then I'm going to darken it up in here, because I know that this doesn't appear to be an overhang, but it would be an overhang, so it would be kind of dark up under there. And we don't have brown in our palettes, which would be the perfect color to use, so we're going to make some brown. We're going to take a little bit of black, and we're going to put it over here in our sienna and ochre. And see, now we have brown. So we don't want a lot of this brown. We're just dropping little happy raindrops in it. No. And I don't want to lose my color, so I'm going back into my ochre, and we're just darkening this up a little bit. Straight water. Straight water. And I'm going to rinse it out because I don't want this to be too dark. So just straight water. Okay. Don't pick it to death, Brenda. I could play in it all day. Once I get started. Getting started is the problem. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just dropping in. I'm not going to put brown in this one so you can see the difference. Oh. Now, one thing that I do, you all may not need to, I keep 2 containers of water because I need clean water. Now, lots of times I want dirty water. I told y'all horizontal and I got going vertical, so hey. Sometimes I do want dirty water. But if I really want it to be clear, I will just keep me 2, because I don't want to get up and go get it. It's lazy is what it is. Because once I get focused, I have ADD, so once I get up to go get it, I might end up cleaning the bathroom. Who knows? just wanted to darken it up under there a little bit. Okay. Y'all good? Now, this appears that it's not blended. I don't know why it shows up that way, but this is lighter than that. It's showing up dark. So I'm going to take some of the paint away so you can kind of see. That's strange, because I don't want you to, because see, look, I'm going to show Tyler. See, it's not.
Yeah.
And that's the way it looks. So, all right.
That made it look better though on camera.
Yeah, it looks better on camera. I lightened it up some. All right. Now let's do our barn door. All right, I don't want you to get the barn door too dark. I still want to keep, we're still going to go the same colors we were in. But drop your color in up here on the top. Rinse your brush out. And just pull that all the way down. Just that little bit of paint all the way down. Just that simple. And here again it appears different than it is. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Dawn, my oldest cousin, and I, we always got the rough end of the stick when we were at grandmother and papa's, because we were the oldest. And one of the things, we had to keep making sure during the day that the barn door was not open. So we would flip a stick. We didn't have a coin to see who was going. And the worst I ever got in trouble is when I left the smokehouse door open. That was not a fun thing. And I felt so bad about it. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1. Good. All right, now we're going to darken inside. We don't want it dark, but it does need to be darker. So, first thing we're going to do is do back to our burnt sienna with a little bit of ochre. Okay, now we're just doing a wash. We're just putting a little bit. That's how fast this goes. Doesn't matter which side. Doesn't matter how you do. I got company.
May I interrupt you for 1 second?
Sure.
What do you want on your pizza?
Ooh, bacon bits.
Bacon?
Bacon.
Anything else? Just bacon? You want a bacon pizza? Is that what you want?
Bacon with cheese.
Bacon and cheese. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got a
Or
feeder.
pineapple. You can put pineapple on it.
So bacon and pineapple.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You can do that on half. Do a half on one of those. You want
Yeah,
regular
just
thin?
half. I don't
Regular
care.
crust?
I don't care.
Taylor,
Whatever
what do you want on your pizza?
You want half?
Probably anything.
Anything?
Yeah.
Josh? Sorry, y'all. I have to feed them.
I know. It's
We got
getting
to
close.
keep them from getting cranky.
I know. So let's.
The barn is fantastic.
I told them you challenged me.
What do y'all think? The barn is fantastic.
It's a different thing,
It's great. You took a whole stamp set and
I
turned it
know.
into something completely different.
and I didn't think I could do it. She
Carol
challenged
said,
me.
I want pizza.
That's lunch today. I just am. This is amazing.
I told them I was showing my prototype and my finished one because there were things about both of them I liked.
She's good, isn't she? Love it.
Oh,
All right,
thanks.
good.
All right, let's drop in some black with not straight black with a little bit of our ochre in there. We want it dark though because this is going to be dark up in here. This is dark.
Ooh, Ooh, Cheryl said mushrooms and pepperoni with black olives.
I am a bacon bit girl.
I am too. I love bacon. I like sausage too.
All right. So I'm just gonna, we just need it to be dark in there because, there we go. All right, let's do the dark on this one. So y'all can see, is this helping me doing two, going back and forth, doing two? I was struggling with how to not get so far ahead. All right, we're gonna drop some color in here. Drop our black in here. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna leave that. All right. Now here comes the fun part. Now, I tell you what, on one of these, I did put the circle up here. If you decide you want that circle, Papa had an open window in his, but that circle was too big for me, and I didn't want to draw a circle, so I'm not using it. I'm just using the cupola is what mine is. So if you want that round, that is this little round window is what it is. That's your choice. But I opted not to after I saw it. Now, all right, let's see. I see what we need to do now. Why you've got that little dirty patch of paint. See, it's a little darker. Just bring that little path. Just bring it out. I'll do it again. And I want a little of the ochre in it. And I'm not making a path, I'm just dirtying up. Here again in Alabama it would be real clay. It would look like clay. This is the fall, so I'm going to make it a little darker here. And pull in a little and then just touching in a little yellow. Just touching a little yellow on this one. All right. Okay. Now for the fun part. Fan them a little bit. Get them real dry. We're gonna do some sketching. All right. I know our background is dry, so we're gonna drop in the trees. Okay, I'm gonna give you all two options, and I'm gonna show you here. This has very little trees in the background, and this has more. So I'm gonna show you both in there so you can decide if you want lots of dead branches or if you want none. So let's do the none on the spring. Yeah, the spring one. So I'm trying to think. Don't draw it, don't press hard. You hold it loose, just like you did your brush. It's real loose. We are not writing. We're just doing some sketching, just as if you would if you had a pencil. So I'm just going to take some, oh, my pen's not working. I used this the other day. There you go. All right. All we're going to do is just put us a few little lines there. Nothing major. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Just a few little lines. All right. I'm going to come down the side of this path. And I am not sketching it. And I'm getting dark up under my door. And it's just hen scratching is all it is. Let's see, that's dry. Yeah. All right, now we're gonna make the crossbars, the big X's on the barn. And just, you're gonna have to pretty much, you can sketch, but it's gotta be dark. So, cause the boards on the barn are not, all they're doing here is just keeping that door together. So we're just gonna make us some X's. And we're gonna do some X's. And see, they're not perfect X's. All right. Now we're going to make the trees. Get your scratch sheet of paper. I want you to practice this just a little bit, because if you don't, you're going to put too many on there. Ask me how I know. So, start by putting in a base. Just get you a little base. All right, that's just a little base. And then I go from the bottom up, and I'll just, now I've been doing these trees for a long time, so don't panic if you don't. That's why I say go to your scratch sheet of paper first. And that's all this is. That's all it is. So this is on the winter. Okay. And now I'm just going to draw in my little dead bushes, trees. Everybody getting this? Okay. I know I'm being quiet, but I know you're concentrating, okay? Now, while I'm in here, I'm just gonna scratch me in some depth. Not a lot. And it's not straight lines either. It's just sketching in some area. And I'm gonna do my path while I'm here. Just a little, not much at all. I'm going to put some grass growing up on the edge, and then I'm going to set this barn down with some dark sketching. Okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and do the sketching on this one, and then we'll come up here and we'll do, no, you want it done in sections, right? Yeah. Yes. Oh, chicken bacon ranch, please. All right, so, oh, I got to do this side. And this just gives it the appearance of, now you can get your stamps back out and you can do you some more grass, but I'm just going to draw them. Just do a few little grasses there. Not many, we're just breaking it up. Okay? See? It's just scratching. And so let's do our summer one. The summer one is not going to have as many bare spots as the winter one. So I'm just gonna just about like that, because most of it's going to be solid green. And then on my grass and around my barn, I'm going to darken it up. And the same thing here. go in there. All right, now let's do this. We got it all, so we're gonna, this one was pretty much set down in there. And then going back here, and I'm just gonna put a few little pebbles in this driveway, in this walkway. Just a few, not many. Just enough to make it look rustic. Is it blurry when I pull it up here?
1 second. It's delayed on me.
All right. Okay. Y'all should be pretty much through with that. I don't want you to take too much time on that. You'll get more, you know. So we're going to work on the inside of our barn. I'm going to take these lines and extend them just a touch, because I want my vent to be a little bit bigger, but just about 1 or 2 boards bigger. Now, here's the time that I like, because I can't stamp straight. So I'm going to straighten mine up, and this side needs to be higher, and this side needs to be lower, because I got it. See how that just straightened up that line? So excited about that. And then these are sliding barn doors. They slide back and forth. So I'm going to extend these over, because that, and I'm going to make it a little thicker, because that barn would slide just like that. That barn door would. So we're just going to take this and bring it out just a touch. And extend just a little bit, just so it's not the exact size of the door is all we're doing. All right, just that simple. And then we're going to make our slider here. And the reason that it's on both sides is because that can open the doors wide. I held it to the side and I got it crooked. All right, and let's just take this one and just a few little sketches. All right, now we're going to put the barn boards on. You remember how we put the boards on the beach houses? We're going to do that same thing. Straight across, straight across. Doesn't have to be even, just where your mind leads it. And then darken this line up under. We're not getting much chatter. Are you liking it? Okay, I'm just going to do the same process here that I did there. I'm going to darken this line. See, this one was a little damp still. And then I'm just going to sketch me some barn boards is what this is. It's just barn boards. I got too many there, but that's okay. I got carried away. So don't get too many. I'm gonna bring you off of it now. Now we're gonna do the roof, and the roof is boards also. So I want you to start in the roof, just an edge here. Just bring out a little bitty horizontal line from the tip and just sketch down the side. Just sketch it down the side. Okay. Bring it down off. Now, on this corner right here, I want you to bring you a line from here to here. And then I want you to do it on the other side. Because if you do it at the same time, you're more likely to get them even. Isn't that weird? But that's true. And then just sketch a little dark in here. We're going to come in here with some paint, but just sketch it like it's a shadow. This is a shadow. This makes it appear that it has that roof on it. And on the other side, let's come on up here. Let's do the same thing and make this side a little bit broader than the other side. Bring it on down a little bit, just like it's a roof. What we're doing is making this appear to be able to see that back roof. You don't, but your eye knows it's supposed to be there. And then this line, bring it over and put just a few little squiggle things here and darken this back up some. So that's going to make you look like you've got the side to the barn. It looks like you're not facing it straight on. And we're just going to take this side. We're not going to make it as wide at all. We're just going to scratch it down. And we're going to put some in there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to sketch this top a little bit broader, not much, just a little. Bring it on down. And we're going to sketch this one wider than this one. And just bring it on down. Doesn't have to be straight, but bring it off the edge there. And then draw your little roof and darken the top of that. Okay. We're going to do our side, and I know it's got the green on it, and that's okay because we're going to come back in here with a little bit of paint. And let's draw some boards down it and darken one side. Okay, it's looking good. Now let's do this side just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty then. We're on your top. Sketch it out a little bit. No, I got mine too. The whole thing is sketchy, so we want everything to appear sketchy. But I'm not going back into the barn doors right now, and I might not. I might have it the way I want it. Let's see, what is the next thing? Oh yeah, the boards on the roof. Just ignore the thatch, and we're gonna make a tin roof. Now, just barely, and keep them horizontal. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of them, but just enough that it appears to be tin. Now, here's another option for the cupola. You can leave the cupola like it is, and I'll show you on this one, but I'm going to bring this one on down. I want that just a touch darker. I think I got it too light. All right. Now, I'm not drawing straight lines. Do you see I'm in skip? Skip. Okay. You just want them to think that it is. Just think that it is. Okay. Now let's do this one. Straightening up this edge a little bit. I kind of got it off kilter. Okay, now I want to just sketch this out a little bit. Not much, just real easy. And I already made that one a little wider. Make it a little wider. Now, on this one, if you want to, you can leave the cupola just like it is. Just it is a cupola up there. And just bring your tin, your fake tin, from that line. Oh, and I forgot to put them under here. Okay. There you go. All right, let's go back to our paint. I want you to squeeze out some white. Didn't think you'd use the white, did you? I didn't think I'd use it either. Is everybody happy? Oh, bye, Pat. We'll finish later. I have had and I'm getting well. Caught it from a friend. Everyone wear a mask. Bless her heart. Okay. Just dampen your brush and get the water out of it. Take the water out of it and then go into your white. We're going to highlight some parts is what we're going to do. Now, this brush is not a liner brush. Now, you can get a liner brush, which is a tiny, tiny little brush. If you have one, you can use it. See, it goes tiny, 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 tiny. But we're going to use the brush we have. All right, we're going to highlight it's not going to be a smooth line. I did everything I could to get a smooth line in it, but it looks okay. And when you go into your paint, because we need a narrow little point, just take your paint and then just roll your brush so it gets to as good a point as we can get. We're going to highlight these X's. Now, it's just a touch, and you're going to have to go back in with this little brush and get your lines back, get your point back, sorry. And just on the top here, we want just a little bit on the top. Just a little bit there. And that's all we need. That's all we need. It's just enough to, and you know what? I bet you I can go in with water and smooth that out some. Yes. That thought just occurred to me. I can go back into my water and it will, there we go. We're just highlighting those. We don't want them to holler at us. We just want them to be subtle. So we're making them subtle. We're forcing them into shape. And then let's just go on top. And I'm going to put some here. And so we're going to, all right, and while we're here, we're going to do our sides. And hindsight, we should have done this first. I didn't do it on my first paintings, but it doesn't matter. It's black and the sienna. Black and sienna. And we're just gonna see it's darker. We're just making the sides darker. And the eave, drop in some dark there. And rinse out our brush. And we're just gonna pull it down. Got a little carried away on that one. There we go. Okay, is everybody, where do you need help? Oh, Cheryl, you're happy. Yay. Does anyone need help? Okay, here is an option that I think I like. I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but I think I like. If you took the class, you'll have it, but you probably have one at home. But what I want to show you is you can mix your stamps, and also that you don't have to follow strictly by anybody's wants but yours. And as I was painting this, I thought, gee, I want a tree. So there's my first attempt. Okay, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to actually do it the way I did it in class, because I do like that. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like. You don't have to do it this way at all. This is not a have to. This is just showing you that you can take another stamp. I think there's a truck stamp. Isn't there a truck stamp? You could put a little truck out here. There's just a lot of little things that you could add to it. So I'm going to put me something up under here. Now I don't want the whole tree at all. I just want about a fourth, I guess, of that trunk. And I want the other half. I just want those branches to come out. Please be good. No. Dang. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to draw it in. I'm just going to draw it the way it is. I'll just draw this tree in. See? We can always fix something. There we go. We're going to sit him down in there. There he is. Now, I'm going to do just like I did in the class. Y'all are getting both classes. How about that? I'm going to take my fall leaves and my watercolor brush, wherever I put it. Where did I put it? How do you lose a watercolor brush? Here it is. Now, I don't want this to be real wet, so I'm going to go into my orange. Oh, I got some orange up here. Go into my orange. I want it fairly thick in there. And I'm going to put it on my leaves. Now, these are not going to stamp out like they do if they're ink at all. So we're going to hit it once and then hit it twice, because you want it to not be a big, you want this little filler in there. Okay. Let's do it that way. And I'm not going to do too many. And then I'm going to go into my yellow. These won't show up a lot, but we just need this to be in there because it is fall. And it just gives it a little dimension. Alright, that needs to be a little thicker. I'm trying to get it thick. There we go. There we go. Alright, and now I'm going to do a little bit of red. And it's just making this be fall. You can do the same thing with the flowers in the spring if you want to. There we go. We got us a fall tree. But that added a whole different look to that painting. So I got a hole in my leaves. There we go. It does look different here. All right, the one thing I forgot to do on here, go back to your pencil. This line needs to be just a little bit darker. Just a little bit. Now, if you don't want it to look sketchy, all you got to do is make the line straight. And I have no problem with that. Okay, we got spring and fall. Bang, we're doing good. Thank you for a fun class. You're welcome, Lolly. I just wanted you to see you could mix those on there. And I would have never thought to have done that had I not done the tree in the other class. And that, I just thought that was a look. Okay, is everybody satisfied? Anybody need any help? Okay, looks like we got door prizes. Ah, yep. I love door prizes. I love door prizes.
So let me get some together.
Okay. Yeah, we got so interested in painting, we forgot to get our. That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. Y'all did good. I'll be sure and put them up. I want to see them. That's one thing I love about this group thing that we've got. Do any of y'all lose the packaging for your stamps? I lose them all the time. All the time. Let's clean up here. So you can see what's happening. She's getting up some goodies. She's getting goodies. There's all kinds of goodies here. You're going to have Taylor, and she's going to draw names.
That's the only thing I'm gonna draw.
Just draw. Oh, you're not going to draw.
Oh, it looks so good. I love it. Y'all will have to send your pictures to the group message
Yes.
to see each other too. Love it, love it. There's not as many names in this one. Let's see.
No.
I have tried, and overcome the fear. Cheryl.
Oh, good, Cheryl. Great.
All right, Trish. I pulled your name.
Trish Danner.
Got some double-sided adhesive. It is a little foggy
It's-
looking,
yeah.
but I could see it fine whenever you're teaching. I
Oh,
love
good.
these cork stickers.
Mm-hmm.
And an embossing folder. All right, Trish. One more.
One more.
One more.
Whoop, whoop. And these will get mailed out. If
Yes.
you've got other, we're going to try to mail them all in one.
Together.
Yeah.
Carol said, "Thank you, Brenda, for the class." Awesome.
Aw.
All right, Miss Cheryl. Cheryl Key.
All right.
I love these.
Oh, I love those.
Decadent brads.
Yes, love the
Love that
brads.
pumpkin.
Oh, and like
I never say this right. Ephemera.
Ephemeron.
Ephemera.
Ephemera. I want to say ephemeran, but it's a ephemera.
Yippee. Awesome.
All right. Good job.
All right.
Good job. So everybody, let's see. Oh, you're so welcome. Yep. Thanks. Finally. I know that feeling, honey. I know that feeling. Well, let me tell you, one time I won a drawing. And we went to a fundraiser, and they had all these big old gifts and weekends and this, that, and the other. And I said, what I want is the year's supply of Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
and I won it. I won it. Yes. I used it for 2 years too. I thought he was ready for me to.
Yeah.
He's gonna end us out. End stream. See you later, guys.